Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Peter Damian. Saint Peter is also known as the patron saint of insomnia and those struggling with sleep difficulties. He was born around the year 1007 in Ravenna, Italy, during a time when the church was plagued by corruption. He came from a poor family, and in his early life he was orphaned by an older man who mistreated him. He was often hungry and forced to work in a swine and was lonely. But even as a child, Peter had a remarkable intelligence and a deep desire to learn. One day, a priest named Damian saw his potential and rescued him from his foster parents' maltreatments. Out of gratitude to the priest, Peter added Damian to his name. He was now called Peter Damian, and this marked a turning point of his life. He was sent to school and quickly excelled, becoming a brilliant student in both secular and religious studies. Eventually, he became a teacher, known for his wisdom and deep sense of morality. But despite his growing fame, Peter felt a deep calling to a life of silence and prayer. He gave up everything he had and entered the hermit monastery of Fonte Avellana in central Italy. There, he embraced an extreme form of asceticism, such as sleeping very little, fasting, and constantly praying. This is also why he's considered the patron saint of those with sleeping disorders, because as a form of penance, he chose to sleep very little and often woke up during the night to pray. Later, his reputation for holiness and learning grew. He began writing letters and books calling for reform in the church. He denounced simony, which was a pretty common practice at that time. It was a corrupt practice within the church where positions like priesthood or bishoprics were sold for money, along with spiritual goods such as penance, the sacraments, and even the salvation. His bold criticisms were sent out to bishops, abbots, and even the Pope. A lot of church leaders were angered by his criticism, but others admired his courage. In the year 1057, against his wishes, Peter was made a cardinal and bishop of Ostia by Pope Stephen IX. He obeyed, seeing it as God's will, and used his position to push for reform from within. He traveled constantly, preaching discipline, correcting abuses, and promoting spiritual renewal. Though deeply involved in church politics, Peter remained a monk at heart. He longed to return to his hermitage, where his true peace lay. Eventually, the Pope allowed him to resign as bishop so he could go back to a simpler life at Fonte Avellana. But the church kept calling on him whenever there were crises or disputes. In 1072, on his way back from another mission for the Pope, Peter fell ill in a small town called Faenza. He died peacefully in a Benedictine monastery there on February 22, 1072. His body is currently resting at the Cathedral of St. Peter the Apostle in Faenza, in Italy. He is also venerated as the patron saint of insomnia and those struggling with sleep difficulties. His feast day is celebrated every 21st of February. If you like stories like this, support us, follow, like, and subscribe.